This is Future Phenoms, tracking football's rising stars. I'm Andy. I'm joined by Nino Brown and Romero. We have a jam-packed episode after the intro. SC, Nino, what's going on, guys?
It's good, man. You know what it is. It's Christmas, for people in the football community. It's the draft day, but also what's better than drafting is, talking about some college football and the rising stars, and that's where we're at today, man. So excited to be here.
You call it Christmas. I call it like walking the kid down the aisle. I get to give away all my prospects. I don't have to worry about these kids no more. They're on their own. They're adults. Go live a good life. Now give me the new kids.
There you go. There you go.
Definitely right. Let's get right to it. Names to watch for the 2024 college football season. Nino, you're up first.
All right, I'm going to go with a guy that's going to be receiving probably most of the targets from a quarterback I think all three of us are fond of in Caden Salter. I'm going to go with Tyson Mobley, wide receiver out of Liberty. He comes over from Coastal Carolina. Now, last year was kind of didn't really put up too much numbers, but the season before that, right, he had 55 receptions, 658 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So, this kid is streaky, right? He's a great route runner. He gets separation off the line of scrimmage, and in the spring game, right away, Caden Salter, deep bomb, my guy Mobley for the touchdown. Like I said, he didn't get much reps after that. He only played a couple series because obviously he looks like he's going to be the main target so that they know what they got in him. But at Coastal Carolina, like I said, he's a good route runner. He's twitchy. He get in and out of his breaks well. He's a little, 6 foot 180. I would like to see a little bit more, but he's got that muscular upper body. Is if you look at him when he's running, his arms are straight defined. He has no problem, getting separation, after the ball. When he gets the ball in the open field, he can push off guys and get separation. So I know he's a little slender, but I do like his game. I think he plays a little bit bigger than the 180. I think he's going to be, the recipient of the wide receiver run out on Liberty.
Yeah, you were asked that the last thing you said there was my biggest take on him, that he plays bigger than what he is size-wise, at 180. I felt like he feels like a 200-pound wide receiver, but moves pretty well too. So Caden, Salter being someone that we're already high on going into the season, now getting a weapon like that, hopefully he repeats what he did 2 years ago, where he only played like 3 games last year. So, it's still going to be good. But last year, he had 7 receptions for 104 yards. So he still put up, some good numbers, even though it's not like, 50 receptions, but it's still good numbers for what it was, you know what I mean? So definitely excited to see him. And, leaving Coastal Carolina, he left, Grayson McCall. And so now he goes into Caden Salter, someone that's a little bit more fluid, a little bit more accurate with some of those deep throw passes. So it's to be exciting to watch.
Yeah, he redshirted last year after 4 games because the quarterback department was a disaster. It was, McCall was getting injured. Then they thought about running out Vasco, which ended up playing, mid-season. So he didn't like what he was seeing, what was going on over there. And he was like, yeah, I'm just going to redshirt senior year. I'm going to go try it somewhere else.
Breaking news, NFL draft. We have a stunner here at number 8, the Atlanta Falcons. They are taking Michael Penix Jr. Live reaction. SC, you're up first.
Wow.
Nah, bro, I'm behind. So for real? At number 8? That's my reaction for real? Oh, wow.
Wow, hey, all huge. That money. They gave Kirk Cousins all that money. Now, I wonder, I'm a little confused here, right? Because, main thing was Penix was the injury concern, right? But is he going to...
Is the ACL concern big?
Is he going to sit? Is this going to be a QB battle off the rip? That arm with those receivers over there, he could push Kirk Cousins right off the ripper. Yo, I don't know what's going on right here. This is crazy. Wow, I did not see Atlanta coming in and taking a quarterback. But wild.
That's why I think he has to see. I mean, the thing was, like, I could see Atlanta taking them, and Penix and Knicks were there, but I was thinking second round. They took him 8th overall. Like, I had them taking defense this whole time. That's wild. That one's a shocker. That the first 7 picks all lined up like, all right, that's what I thought. Wow. Threw me off.
Penix over JJ. Wow.
The one thing that I will say, when I did my write-up on him for league winners, I said a perfect landing spot would be in a dome. And one team that I didn't mention was the Falcons, because they are in a dome. When he's outside, that ball can kind of float on him when it gets windy. So I said, if he can land in a dome in that right spot where there's weapons, he could just be that, that point guard. And so that's a dream landing spot right there for him.
Could we see Kirk Cousins get traded?
Oh,
because Cousins signed what, a 4-year deal?
3 years.
3 years?
He still got the bag though.
He got hundreds. Yeah, he got a lot of money. That's why I think it's so odd that they drafted Penix. I don't think that he has to sit here. I don't think this guy has to sit.
Or do you do what the Packers did with Jordan Love? Let him sit for those 3 years and kind of brew, kind of simmer, kind of learn. Don't rush him. But I mean, you're taking him at 8th overall, though. I mean,
that's huge.
At 8th overall,
you're paying him
sit for 3 years.
You're paying him at what? I think at least, I don't want to get my numbers confused, but you're paying him a good amount.
It's going to be in the 20s, right? He's going to be somewhere in the high 20s. Yeah. So hey, that's going to be very, very interesting. I think I don't know per se, but for some reason I'm getting vibes that Kirk Cousins could be on the move.
Yeah, but then it comes to who? Like that's Denver, and Denver already gave the bag, right? So it's like that's wild.
Because now what's going to go on with the Raiders? The Raiders were in on Penix at 17. He's gone. So Denver, the Raiders, it's going to get real spicy real quick. You're going to start seeing some movement.
Do the Bears now entertain offers because the Vikings have 2 first-round picks? The Raiders have multiple picks.
I would.
They're up now. So what do they do? And with Kirk Cousins, he got $100 million guaranteed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Bears said before this going in, Ryan Poles already said at 9 they are willing to listen to anything. But they got to bring it. They got to bring it back. They're not taking any discounts or nothing. Or they can just take Rome and solidify that offense right there. And you know what I mean? And give Caleb all the weapons that he possibly could need with no worries. I have a funny feeling.
See, it pays to watch live the future Phenoms. We dropped that before anyone.
About $20 million is what Penix will get.
Yep.
So that's wild. Though.
Wow, hey, that is wild. Michael Penix Jr. to Atlanta.
8th overall.
Drake London is going, I went from trash to 2 guys. Let's go, baby.
We got our guy at CFB Nation, Dennis. Waste of pick. You got Cousins locked for 4 years. Penix will be 28 by then.
He's not sitting. That's the thing.
Yeah,
he's not going to sit. Something's happening. Kirk Cousins. Hey, you know what it is?
Maybe that ACL was more.
Deal? Could they rescind this deal because of their saying there was a tampering? Could they rescind the deal? There's no possible way.
I don't think so.
Is this crazy?
Was Kirk Cousins ACL worse than we thought? Maybe, and they're like
they would not give him $100 million guaranteed. No way.
Maybe after seeing more of him or something. I don't know. Like it's just that's wild.
It's odd.
There you go.
That's crazy.
I've seen live reaction from my thing that's in the future here or past, whatever you want to say. But yeah, Penix, that's good. I mean, shit, good deal. What's up, man? Good for you, Penix. Good for you, man. Top 10. Let's go.
So if we break this down to fantasy terms, is he mid first, late first?
Oh, Michael Penix Jr. is going somewhere in the 107 to 109
Well, because I think you were talking, or not you in general, but the talk was, JJ was in that 107 top range. Now Penix gets argued there, and Bowers is still there at 108. Unless McCarthy does fall to Minnesota at 11, people will eat that up more so than they eat this up, just because that's dream scenario in a sense with the weapons you have in Minnesota for receivers, right? So with Penix and Cousins there, people are gonna be like, if anything, this may push Penix back actually, and you gotta take it.
Chicago's taking the pick. Is there a world we live in where the New York Jets are taking phone calls right now from Denver and the Raiders, in Minnesota? Yo, what's popping?
I would, especially if you're getting a first back this draft. Yeah, why not? If Aaron Rodgers coming back healthy, a quarterback wants to go in.
Breaking news: the Chicago Bears are taking Roma Dunze to pair with Caleb Williams.
That
Thoughts?
was a given. That was a given once I saw the pictures, bro. Come on. Who took the picture? Right? Caleb was with Rome and all that. So it was just a lock in. That worked out together already previously before the draft. That's what I said is what I'm going to stand on. That solidifies the offensive weapons for him, right? Now, you have Keenan Allen come in and you paid him the money, but he's a vet. You only got him for a couple of years.
He's a teacher.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to mold him, and DJ Moore and Rome will be the future wide receivers out there. Caleb set up, man. This is probably the first time in Chicago Bears history where they've actually done it freaking right. They set their quarterback up correctly. He's the most talented quarterback they probably drafted as well, but they set up right.
Someone talked. I was on the show earlier, and they were talking about how DJ Moore's value drops because they think the rookie connection will be more so with Odunze and Caleb, where people are taking like 6th overall as wide receiver, and they say they don't necessarily see that happening because they think Odunze plays some effect to that.
How do you think this receiving room breaks down as far as target goes? 1, 2, and 3. Who do you think leads the team, second, and then third for the receivers?
I honestly think year 1, Keenan Allen's probably going to lead the team in targets because I feel like he's going to be the veteran guy that just is going to know how to get to a spot for Caleb. You know how to get open for Caleb. No, all right. This route's taken, so let me break off and get to an area where these other guys. I'm not saying DJ Moore can't do that, but I don't see Rome going to be doing that off rip. It takes a little bit of time to do that. You got to have a chemistry with them and get a feel. Keenan Allen's been a vet. He's savvy. Like you keep writing this dude off year after year after year. It just outside of injury, he just keeps getting better. I truly feel this year, Keenan Allen 1,
Moore 2,
and Rome 3. I feel that Rome will probably challenge for 1 next year.
What was this due to Cole Kmet?
Well, Cole Kmet's target share went down when they brought in Gerald Everett. I mean, Gerald Everett's not a blocker, bro. He's a hands tight end, bro. He's out there to catch passes. So Cole Kmet's value went down there. Now you have an ultimate, like I said, you have an ultimate offense. You have 2 tight ends that can catch. You know what I mean?
Breaking news: we have a trade. The Minnesota Vikings are trading from 11 to the 10 to the Jets.
JJ McCarthy, baby. JJ McCarthy, lock it up. Bet your house on the thing.
Did you have the trade breakdown yet or no?
Not yet. It literally just dropped like 30 seconds ago.
It's gotta be. It's
JJ.
It's JJ, but it's gotta be.
Is there a role they take Bo?
No, bro. They wanted JJ. They wanted JJ. This is what they're doing. They got nervous though, because Penix was someone else that they liked, and the fact that they see, Penix come off the board, they didn't want to have to fight with Denver or the Raiders, so they were like, "Yo, we'll just pay you. We'll pay you with the price. What's the bag? What's the cost?"
I'm curious if they made the price that other first they have. Or
probably to go up 1 spot?
Yeah, probably not. But I mean, you're like, bro, if not, they could have argued we're gonna take him and have him sit behind Rodgers and try to do that deal, poker face kind of deal, right? So
I'm telling you, Jordan Travis is gonna be a New York Jet.
All right, the trade is in. The Vikings are getting pick number 10 and pick 203. The Jets get pick 11, 129, and 157.
3rd rounder, yeah.
So was that 3rd? Yeah.
Yeah, at the top of the 3rd.
That's not bad at all.
That's 129.
Oh, that's top of the 4th.
That's
right?
4th.
Yeah.
4th, but then they got what, 150? You said too. So top of 4th and 5th.
Yeah, Jets get 11, 129, and 157.
So they got 2 4th rounders.
Yeah.
Right, to move up 1 spot.
That's solid too. Because
they won that trade, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah. I think Minnesota won that trade. Yeah, they got
Minnesota or New York.
Minnesota. They gave up 2 4th rounders. Big deal to go get their guy.
Yeah, just one.
They swapped picks in the 1st round and gave up 2 4th rounders. Big deal. It's couch cushion change, bro.
All right, SC. No offense, but let's talk about your guy. I'm not going to pay attention to you, though.
No, you're good. Just we're going to talk wide receiver, because we talked about one of his partners going into Oklahoma, and this guy's from Texas too, Ivan Carrion. A little less than 200, but he's 6'6", man. I think he's just a monster being that, can have that good catch radius, catch at the high point, just be a target monster if he wants. I think we could see him expand the field a little bit more because we talked about Zion Kearney last week. Just because of his size, he may see that playing time before someone like Kearney does, and you may see him stretch the field and get a couple deep passes, nothing crazy, but just a couple within the season if he gets that opportunity.
You think so? You think he's going to see the field this year? I mean, opportunity for that. I mean, because I just look at the depth chart, right? You got Burks came in. He's obviously going to be a guy because spring game put that on the map, right? Farouk, Andrell Anthony, Nick Anderson. That's already 4 guys plus Jacquez Pettigrew from last year as a freshman. That's a lot of mouths to feed there.
Yeah, no offense. This guy's not going to play year 1. Breaking fucking news. The Minnesota Vikings take J.J. McCarthy.
I knew it.
So that moves him. People will take him over Penix in your rookie drafts because of that. That's you talk about weapons, and Penix having Kirk in front of him, they're gonna go ahead and take JJ in that 107 spot. You may see JJ go in top 4 now, to be honest with you, because of that. And I'll throw this out there: you're gonna see in some drafts JJ go before Drake May, even though Drake May was 3rd overall.
I don't think there's a world that there would be a draft where Drake goes before JJ. I mean, no offense, but the Patriots don't really have the weapons.
That's my point, though. That's but people eat into the draft capital, right? So being top 3 overall, there are gonna be some that do it, take Drake May over it, but you're gonna see a lot of drafts where people get McCarthy over him too.
Does he start? I have a funny feeling.
Oh yeah. Well.
Whoa! You were confident. You reeled it in real quick.
I don't want him to start because I want him to. I want him to sit for at least half a year, kind of soak everything in, not be rushed to go out week 1. That's what I want for him. But is he ready to start week 1? I say yes. Do I want him to? I say no.
He will start by the end of the season.
I think they're going to give Sam Darnold the first 4 weeks, see what they got there with Donald, if he's okay to not push JJ to start early. But you also now picking JJ McCarthy and having a future, quarterback here now saves you the Justin Jefferson fiasco, and he'll probably lock up his deal within the next 48 hours. I would say
it's Darnold's job to lose more than it is JJ's job to win. You know what I mean? Like JJ has that locked in. Darnold can't let it go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like that.
I mean, that's just a dream landing spot. I mean, that's been my landing spot that I've called since October. That's the spot that I wanted JJ. I want him to be in that system. I wanted him to have that alpha wide receiver number 1. I wanted him to have a running back game. They have Aaron Jones there. I think everything's set up for him where he doesn't have to do everything as a rookie. So I really do like that pick.
Who just got paid? Oh, I can't think off the top. A wide receiver just got paid.
AJ Brown.
Was it Brown? The Browns? I didn't.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown got paid like an hour or 2 ago. Yesterday was ARSB.
That's who it was. That's how I was thinking. I missed AJ Brown, but then St. Brown too. So now Jefferson, he's holding out right now. He signs then, right? Because they got JJ.
Yeah, he was waiting for a quarterback. He just wanted to see what they were going to do for the future, and that he's not going to lock himself up for 3 to 5 years and having no quarterback there. It just wasn't happening.
All right, back to Ivan Carrion. Do you think he's going to get any playing time this year?
I don't think he sees the field this year at all.
It's going to be just like that one play where we just see a deep dive kind of. He just gets on for whatever. Nothing crazy. Like 2 receptions, and it may just be deep dives because he's a big guy going down the field and catching a touchdown randomly. End of the game kind of deal.
Okay.
That's just why I say. Kind of like I said,
Nino,
we saw Hakeem
Williams
take it. So
my next guy is going to be in the quarterback realm. We're going to go Louisiana Tech QB, Jack Turner. Now, look, we mentioned before, Hank Bachmeier is gone. He's going on to Wake Forest. But Turner filled in for him. It was 4 or 5 games last year. He started 4 or 5 games last year when Bachmeier was played a little bit. Then he got hurt. Then he came in and he came in the Nebraska game and damn near willed them back in his first game ever to a victory in that game against Nebraska. He was 64%. He had almost 300 yards. He had 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Now, he had 5 picks in total in the season, but he did have 5 touchdowns. He threw 1,000 yards, and he was close to 58%. They like him over there at La Tech. He fits into this nice air raid system. Right? He's a big QB, 6'5", 230 pounds. Texas quarterback. I love Texas quarterbacks. They always have big arms that can air it out. And I'm going to kind of piggyback on this as being like a double players to watch out for. Because I only put 2 on the dock because I know my man only had 2. I think Jack Turner and Nicholas Crawford, it could be a nice 1-2 combination. Now, Smoke Harris is gone. They're looking for someone to fill in that role. And in the spring practice already, these two guys are working. And when they were talking about them, Sonny Cumbie said this, and this is all I want to end my comment about Jack Turner. He goes, nobody else is more prepared for the QB1 role than Jack Turner. You want to talk about reading the tea leaves? That pretty much says he's already won the QB1 role. This is his guy. He goes, quarterbacks have to have experience, and he got that experience in those 4 or 5 games last season. He's the most prepared quarterback we have in the room. I mean, that just hands down says he's going to be the guy. Give me Jack Turner. He had a buzz coming out of last season. I think he's going to ride that buzz this year.
Yeah, and he has the size. What is he, like 6'5" or so?
6'5", 230.
Yeah. Good size. I think approachable quarterback could go out there and make your throws, and that's a good landing area for him, being at Louisiana Tech, just showing that the job is his, and I think he's going to flourish it. So, good pick.
SC, who's your next guy?
Last guy is a guy that's returning. I thought he was coming out this year. That's going to be safety from Wisconsin, Hunter Roller. Just a guy that's just very physical. 120 total tackles, 74 being solo last year. 2 interceptions plus 2 sacks. Can line up really anywhere. He lines up in the box. He lines up on the slot. Lines up as a safety. Just an all-around good, versatile guy to lead your backfield. And I think he is going to be talked about as a top safety for next year in Hunter Roller, Wisconsin.
Okay. I mean, last year was kind of his breakout season, right? Prior to that was minimal attempts. He has a Cole Bishop feel to him. I would like to see, a little bit more, because Cole Bishop was, 3-year starter and did it back to back. So
Right.
I like where you're going with it. I don't know if I would say he's a top safety in the Big Ten, but I think he's got some promise to him, and he could be a guy on the rise. So I'm with you there.
And those are some names to know and write down for your CFF, C2C, and IDP leagues. Our next segment, this or that, freshman versus freshman. Aaron Butler versus Aaron Hampton. SC, you're up first.
Like both of these guys, man, I think I go Aaron Butler with this one. I just like that speed. He's quick-footed as well. Just very, very smooth when he's doing his routes. Kind of slippery as well. Just moves tackles, moving around people, has some elusive to him. Just an open field kind of threat. So I like what I see in his game.
I like Aaron Butler, but I'm going to go with Bubba Hampton here. Okay, Aaron Bubba Hampton. Before I talk about Hampton, I do like Butler because I feel at any point in time, you try guarding this guy, he might punch you in the face. Like, this guy is that physical and edgy when he is running. And when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, he might have to tune it down a little bit, at the collegiate level. But in high school, this guy was just such a fit. Gave me like Malachi Corey vibes of how the physicality came with him. But yeah, Bubba is just an athlete. He just short area quickness, burst. For a guy, he's not he's the number 9 athlete in his class. He may not be the biggest guy, 3-sport athlete, but like he does well in contested catches. He plays bigger than his size. Speed, right? He ran 11.5, 100 meter. He's got the twitch, like I said, 3-sport athlete. Now, like you put up 2,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, okay, right? And then you go out and put 148 tackles. That's pure athleticism. I have a funny feeling that you're going to hear a lot of Bubba Hampton early. So I'm going to go with Aaron Bubba Hampton here. I just think that the versatility that he brings and a guy that plays bigger than his size, give me Bubba.
Because that bigger than his size there, it reminded me of almost a Zay Flowers in the way he plays like that. Just someone that plays bigger than what he really is. And it looks like you watch him play, you're like, damn, this guy's like 6'2", 6'3", and it's like, nah, he's under 6 feet, and he's 180 or something like that. So just very strong player. So I love his game too.
Butler's got the pedigree, right? His dad played at Pitt and stuff like that. But I just like him. I like twitch, man. And to me, Hampton's got way more twitch than Butler does.
With the 11th pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select Penn State offensive tackle Olu Fashanu.
Everything they wanted Mekhi Beckman to be, he will be. Okay.
So, 12's on the clock. Denver takes Knicks.
No.
I think
they're
thinking about it. I think they're thinking about it.
But
he
Come
doesn't
on.
get back to you.
Knicks at 12? We're talking Knicks at 12?
Bro, we're talking the NFL.
With Sean Payton?
We've seen things happen.
With Sean Payton?
I don't agree with it, but the question is, do they take it? I
Bo
think they're
Nix is getting
considering it.
drafted right now.
There's
With-
so many other needs they have, though.
5 quarterbacks
What's
just
the-
win in top 10.
What's the major need that they have? Zach fucking Wilson, bro.
But you're gonna reach and get Bo Nix at 12?
It's a reach.
At this point, I think you get
At
scared
12?
though.
Yeah.
I think you're
I
scared
would
now.
rather trade down, get a Spencer Rattler, get a Michael Pratt, get
But
one
that's
of
not a
those.
guarantee they're there.
Yeah, that's
That's what I'm
no
saying. Trade
guarantee.
down.
But then you don't have a quarterback.
You still won't have a quarterback if you have Bo Nix.
Come on, get off that fucking milk carton, my buddy. Get off
Yeah.
that. Fucking,
I
that's
think they're
crazy.
thinking it, man.
Get
I
off
think they're
that
thinking
shit.
it. It's different because have those 5. If the Vikings took JJM at 11, you kind of maybe, but they moved up 5 win the top 10. Now you're scared. I don't know if one of these top quarterbacks is getting to us. Now we, may
The
have to take
Raiders
the
are
guy
at
we want.
13, dude.
Who's the Broncos wide receiver 1 right now? If
Sutton.
they
Sutton.
were for sure, you think he's the one? Who's the 2?
Mims.
A stretch slot?
Yeah, of course.
Patrick, but I think Patrick's. I mean,
Get
Patrick
out of
came
here
off
with
in.
Patrick,
I'm
bro.
saying that's the other guy in there. Is what I'm saying.
They'll
You know what
draft
I mean?
another receiver, but that's your one too.
But yeah,
Fact.
that's what I'm saying. Patrick's the other receiver there right now because they traded Judy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, they let Hamlin go.
I mean, you have Dolchich. Dolchich isn't
Would,
comparing those targets there.
Would that Toledo corner make sense here?
No, you have Satane. You don't need another corner like that.
So
It's not a
if you're gonna
necessity.
go,
That's a luxury.
if you're gonna go someone, you're getting like Turner or something here.
They
If you're
just
going
extended
defense.
Sertain on a 3-year deal, so they don't need Quinton Mitchell.
Yeah, you're going Turner like Verse or Latu if you're not getting Knicks. I think it'd be wild if they go Bowers because they have Dolchich. I don't think that's. I think
I don't understand. Like, you can't say Bowers and Dolchich in the same realm, bro. That's like 7 tiers down from Bowers.
no, but that's what I'm saying. It'd be wild if they end up taking Bowers because Dolchich is like
He's not that good.
Who?
He's not that. You're talking about.
No. I'm not saying he's good. I'm just saying that's something too to consider because
you
Bowers
say it'd be
fought
wild. It wouldn't be wild. Like, to me, that you're saying wild would be like, why would you go take a tight end when you got a stud tight end?
Oh no, my bad. I didn't mean it like that. I meant in the fact of wild that I think their 2 biggest needs are quarterback or like an edge rusher. But if they end up taking Bowers over that, I mean, he's dropping there at 12.
The pick is in, baby. Look at Andy. He's waiting. He's waiting for it to
load.
All right, let's get to the next position.
Yeah.
I'll go.
All right, freshman. We're going position versus position. Wide receiver, Makai Lemon versus wide receiver, Hakeem Williams. Nino, you're up first.
Listen, I was a huge Makai Lemon fan. I still am. Like, I when everybody was like, oh, it's a Zacharia Branch, I'm like, okay, I'll take Lemon. You can have Branch because, yes, Branch may be the fastest guy, but Lemon, 5'11", 180. He gives me Curtis Samuel vibes, like that wide back, right? Like he can beat you at the line of scrimmage and he can beat you at the top of the route, right? He's got great football IQ, tremendous body control. He's got that lateral twitch. So not only can he beat you going north to south, but his switch from side to side will make you look stupid. And he's just a natural playmaker. But I really love Hakeem Williams. And last year I had to eat a lot of crow on Hakeem Williams because he just wasn't ready. He wasn't at that. You got to pick?
Yeah, you guys are right. Bo Nix.
Thank you.
Talk me up about him. Talk me up about him.
Listen, look, you want a guy that's going to be accurate. Yeah, he may not be accurately the best. His trait is the deep ball, but this is going to be a guy in the short and intermediate routes. He's going to be on the money, right? This is a guy that's going to do SEC, Pac-12, 2 different playbooks, different systems. I understand. First year at Auburn was good. Second year at Auburn, they changed the system with a power run game, which that's not Bo Nix's game. All right. Back to having a nice pass system at Oregon, excelled, right? Got the playmakers the ball. He also brings that rush aspect to him, right? He's got that grit to him, not afraid to take it on his own. Bo Nix he may be a check down Charlie, a Duncan Dink guy the first couple of years, but he will grow into a role. And I think at Denver with Sean Payton, you could get a little bit of the Drew Brees without the major deep ball play.
Are you confident that he can make the throws into tight windows?
I'm more so not confident on the wide receivers he has. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel Mims or Sutton are those receivers that can necessarily elevate what he is. Like I think they understand he's QB6 off the board, right? I think that's where he falls, and it's just they're gonna need still get some wide receiver help. You had, like you mentioned, checkdowns. You have Javonte Williams. You have Jaleel
Yes.
McLaughlin there. So you have guys that can do it well. Dulcich, we're gonna talk about him, just someone that's short area kind of guy. Where Sutton's more of a stretcher, right? Maybe Mims underneath. Mims may have a bigger season. The tight windows though, it's more so. Sutton's had times to be a top guy and he hasn't been. So I feel that's just where it's gonna hurt. They're gonna need to address the wide receiver room as well.
They'll probably get one later on, maybe in the third round, fourth round. I'm not really too concerned. Like for me, the tight window throws was not my biggest concern with Bo. It was more of the deep ball accuracy. Like luckily he had speedier guys where if he was off mark, they could adjust well to the throw. I think he'll be okay in the tight windows. They got to keep him. They got to protect him. I don't want him running for his life trying to make all platform throws all the time, starting off the season early, because because then it's going to get to his head. Like, is it going to be get out of the pocket first? You know what I'm saying? And now the development to him is kind of like skewed. So, but I think Sean Payton there, I'm telling you that for me, and I said it the whole time, with Sean Payton and Bo Nix, that was his match made in heaven. That was the perfect landing spot.
Watch them get move up in the end of the first to get Franklin, pairing with Franklin again.
What if they made a trade and went out and got T. Higgins or IU? Like,
yeah.
Boom, right? Like,
that's
all
huge.
of a sudden. And then,
does he start day one, or does Zach Wilson get the job?
This is going to be a camp battle, okay? And this is going to prove to me and pretty much everybody that I've talked shit to about Bo Nix for 4 straight years that he's got the grit. This is going to show you that he has it. It wasn't like, oh, he went to Eugene and they put him in a perfect scheme. It's going to be he's a good fucking quarterback, all right?
I think Wilson's on the hot seat more than ever now because now it's like, all right, bro, we're going to put you under some competition. You knew he wasn't going to beat Aaron Rodgers, right? So it's like you're getting out.
Top 12 pick or a 6th round fucking trade, bro. Come on.
Yeah. The interesting thing comes, we brought up fantasy in the past too. Do you take Nix over Penix because Kirk Cousins is still there? Penix possibly sitting the year, Nix possibly starting day one. Where do you go there?
I'm taking neither and trading down if those are the options.
Yeah, that's a fair argument though in that situation, right? If you're top 4 and McCarthy, May, Daniels, Caleb are all gone, and someone needs a quarterback, you're like, hey, I'm not fair on these. This is heavy sell.
Yeah, everybody hated Kirk Cousins when he got drafted to Washington, and people, Kirk Cousins
Is this a stock up for Javonte Williams?
Oh, yeah, year one, absolutely. They're probably going to lean on the run game until they feel that Bo's confident and they figure out identity.
What's his name's gone, right? Who was their RB2 last year? Hold on.
McLaughlin.
No, but so who was not P? I thought they had someone else. Maybe I was thinking P. Ryan.
There.
Yeah, maybe I was thinking P. Ryan. But yeah, Sean Payton will use McLaughlin before P. Ryan, I feel like. But yeah, definitely I like that for Javonte.
All right, Nino. So you were talking with Mekhi Lemon and Hakeem Williams.
Yeah, like I said, I was a big Lemon fan. I still, and you're going to see a lot of Lemon this year. I think you're going to see the rise of Lemon, and people may be like, "Oh, what happened to Zachary Branch?" But with Williams, we talk about Jeremiah Smith being this Julio Jones guy. This is Julio Jones, like the prototype. He may not, I hate to put everybody, but like the prototype, the receiver, the way he plays his game. It's Hakeem Williams, right? 6'2", 208. 216 or 217 now, chiseled out of freaking concrete. It looks like as he walks out to spring practices. Explosive, jack for a guy that size. Footwork, right? He got that like those quick short footwork moves, whether it's at the line of scrimmage or it's in route before he makes that vertical burst. He's got those quick moves, right? He's good at contested catches. He's really good at ball track. He's got good hip movement. This guy will make a DB bite hard on like sinking a hip, and then that guy is just owned. See you later. And then he makes a move to get out of it. If he earns this playbook, okay, there is a chance I think that Hakeem Williams can assert himself and be like, I know Malik Benson's probably going to do one, but I truly believe Hakeem Williams can be the wide receiver 2 and push Benson down the stretch in the season for that alpha wide receiver on the outside.
The answer is Williams, man. 6'2", got some burners, runs with strength and velocity, great catch radius, knows what to do with his feet to get open or to just make people miss. He's just gonna be a stud. He was a stud as a prospect coming into it last year, and I think we're gonna see him explode into it more so this year. Not necessarily a breakout, but we're gonna see more than what we saw last year. You know, it's very minimal last year. So,
who are the Raiders taking?
That was our. They have not picked yet.
Because the pick is in, buddy. It tells me you're supposed to be my source.
Well, my source doesn't have it up yet.
They're obviously not taking a quarterback here, right? Like, there's no way.
I can confidently say no.
So they go offensive lineman.
they go Rattler. That'd be fucking wild.
You think they take Fuga out of Oregon State here?
If Al Davis still ran the team, we all knew who would be going right here.
Wide receiver.
You go.
The pick is in.
Who's the
Murphy.
pick?
Tight end. Georgia.
Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
Wow.
Michael Mayer? That doesn't even make sense.
Wow.
It doesn't even make sense. What?
Wow.
Oh my God, bro. Antonio Pierce, what are you doing?
Wow.
Hey, Nino. He's a generational tight end, don't you
Shit
know?
now, right? Generational freaking bench warmer. What is going on, dude? This is stupid. That is not what they had way too many freaking holes on that team.
They will run
tight end.
They will run 2 tight end sets and use Amir White, man.
Wow, bro.
Oh man.
I hate to say it's a reach.
13.
I hate to say that's a reach, but that's a reach for what they need.
Yeah.
They don't. That was a dumb pick.
You should have felt. You could have got, if you want a tight end, go get Sanaa or Sanders later.
They don't need a tight end.
I'm saying if they wanted one, is go get them later. Like why get Bowers at this point?
Did anybody in the Raiders freaking scouting department watch any film on the Raiders for the last 7 weeks? Like, what happened?
Did Mayer go first round last year?
Second
round.
Second? Okay.
But like, why would you? Stupid. All right, let's keep going before I get pissed off. I'm already pissed off. I might get even more pissed off.
I'm with a Raiders fan upset.
I'm not exactly. It's just stupid.
All right, SC, what's your thought on Bowers going to the Raiders and possibly running 2 tight end sets?
I mean, I think that's like, he just said it all, man. That's a stupid idea. Why? You have Mayer there. I think this could have been a good year for him, you know, having a year in the NFL. Why go after Bowers? If you wanted that, there's people that would have traded you for Bowers. You could have got some more capital and get someone later. And why go after him when you, like Neil said, you have other positions? You could have got one of the solid edge rush, or no, the in the middle. You have Wilkins there, right, with Crosby. You could have gone someone like a Murphy or even a Newton to have inside. You could have got one of your cornerbacks there. You could have got
Mitchell
sitting right there.
Lock it down, bro.
If anything, too. I know Jacoby's there, and I like Jacoby Myers. You could have got another wide receiver there as well. Why not go after like a Ward and have someone in the slot there for you? You know what I mean? So
you can't go get a wide receiver. That's not something you go do with Aiden O'Connell or Jarrett Stidham. Or who's it? Stidham?
That's fair. No, it's Minshew.
Oh God, Minshew. Like, yeah. So it's obvious that they believe in God and Minshew now because they didn't want to trade up to go get a quarterback in the midst of all the hustle and bustle.
I just don't think that makes sense when you have Mayer. It just doesn't. He's not even like a vet, right? He's not an aging tight end. You just got him, so that's just.
Oh, my boy Dino made a valid point. Is there a chance that Brock Bowers plays the slot?
I mean, he's not a really good blocker, so
Mayer is
possibly.
Yo, all right, now there's your wide receiver, and now your room is full, right? Adams, Bowers, Jacoby Myers. And if they decide to keep Hunter Renfrow, they can, right? They can bring him back.
Yeah, but
But wouldn't you have been more wise to take a slot wide receiver who's already done it and done it at the college level, has the footwork, is nifty,
Not at that
nimble.
pit. Not at that. Not at
Yeah,
that pit.
yeah.
They
I would
should have
say
traded back.
No, I
If
would have
they-
taken offensive lineman or cornerback and locked that position down. Dude, as much as they struggled at drafting wide receivers over the last 10 years, right? Every cornerback that they've kind of drafted outside of Nate Hobbs has either got themselves in trouble or been an absolute bust, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But this is where that movie Draft Day comes into play. When you want the tight end, you're reaching out to her guys that you know want him to and saying, hey, this is the pick. What are you giving for him? You know what I mean? Like, you try to go in there and situate like, this is who we're going here. What are you willing to give? And you're making calls to say, are you looking to trade up to get your boy?
I wonder what the cost was, because I know Indy wanted Bowers to move up 2 spots. I wonder what they were like, what the Raiders were trying to like rape him for, because that doesn't make any sense there.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, before the Saints pick, our next segment, 5 statements with Nino and SC. Statement number 1, Lenora Sellers will be a top 3 quarterback in the 2026 NFL Draft. SC, you're up first.
Yeah, man, I think it's a very possible opportunity for him. When you watch him play, to me, it was like if Jaden Daniels, Anthony Richardson had a baby. He has that footwork. He has that speed to become that dual threat guy. He has great arm strength. Some of the accuracy may be there. He needs to get up on that as well, but he knows how to throw with a zip. I like his game, and, he sat behind Rattler, so now the team is his.
I've been a fan of Lenora Sellers. I finally got my co-host Brian Bosage on the Garnet Roost to be on the boat with me about Lenora Sellers, and I think my man Bosage hit it on the head. I did an episode just yesterday on the Garnet Roost. I think Lenora Sellers could be baby Cam Newton. That's what I'm going to go with. I think you have an opportunity, and I think after this season, there's a very good chance that Lenora Sellers is in that talk of like getting some trophy awards here and possibly putting South Carolina back on the map. If they get some big wins this year on games that they're not supposed to win, if they happen to push LSU early in the season, I'm not saying even win the game. If they push LSU and he's a part of the reason why they're in that game late, oh, watch out, because they're going to start to get a little bit of confidence early. You don't want this kid to get confidence.
Right now, Nico and Jackson are top 2, right?
Yeah, he's 3.
Yeah, so is there a role where he's number 1 overall?
No, I'm sorry.
Nico.
Yeah.
2? 3's the cap. Like, he doesn't pass him. He doesn't pass him or 2.
That's cap for me. I'm sorry. Like, just those 2 guys bring a totally different element to the game, and it's so far kind of already advanced to where Sellers is. I can't put him there. If he hits every check box, if he checks every box in the next year and a half, hey, maybe. But right now, I can't see him. I think 3 is the cap for him.
That's fair. Yeah, I love his game, though. He's definitely going to be someone to talk about.
Statement number 2. Tight end Ben Urasek is the tight end 1 at Georgia when he enrolls in the summer and will be the tight end 1 in 2025 NFL Draft. Nino, you're up first.
Did Oscar Delp die?
Negative.
All right. Because I just can't see, like, yes, when he steps on the field, he will be tight end 1 when he enrolls at Georgia. I just don't know if there's going to be. I got a funny feeling they're going to be throwing the ball around this year. Okay, a little bit more than the run game we see from Georgia the past couple of seasons, and I just don't know with both of those tight ends, though, especially the fact that Delp's actually a really good blocker. I don't know if he's going to see enough targets or get enough receptions to put him in the tight end 1 spot. Yes, his athleticism, what he can bring to the table, and obviously that's why he went to Georgia, is to rise his draft stock. I just don't know. Too many underlying factors for that to say he would be tight end 1 at the draft. I'm going to go with no.
I agree. I love Delp. I think Delp is, this is his season. And even though bringing Eurosip, I think Delp is going to go in there and compete. And by the end of the season, Delp's going to be the tight end 1 for it. Starting off, he will go in there because he's a new guy, and he's veteran kind of deal. But I think Delp is still going to be that 1 at the end as far as targets and possibly, receptions for him as well. And tight end 1 of the draft, no, I don't think so.
With the 14th pick in the NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Oregon State offensive tackle Talise Fuaga.
I think he underrated offensive tackle out of the group. Like this dude is like so aggressive with hand-to-hand combat. Like E-Hans are out there. You come at him 90% of the time, he's standing straight up, bro, and he don't move backwards. It's like a cinder block. You know what I mean? I love his game. Look at Oregon State last year, right? Dominant on the ground. And he was a major part of that. I think this is going to be a huge role, a huge benefit to maybe even extend Alvin Kamara's, see his length of time left in New Orleans. I think this gentleman could help him there, especially David Carr. After last year and all those injuries, he needed to help protect him, keep him upright. Chris Olave is doing his happy dance right now.
Yeah, I love this. I know people hate on Derek Carr, but I think that was a great pick for him. You got to protect him, and now you have a little bit better to have him, give him some pocket because he's not expanding plays by any means. So you did go out there and protect him so he could get the ball out to your Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and even A.T. Perry there. So good pick.
Every single pick so far has been on the offensive side. The Colts pick next. Do they go defense?
I think they could get a corner here.
They're going to take Mitchell.
It's here, Mitchell or Arnold, I think.
So they'll have Blackman right on the other side, who had a good season last year, and I think it's Mitchell. You say Arnold, I'm not going to argue because I could argue that back and forth between him and Kool-Aid. A lot of people that like Arnold better tend to just look at stats and not look at the game. The reason why Kool-Aid didn't get targeted too much is because they know they couldn't throw the ball at him. He literally just make you look stupid. So but yeah, Arnold's not knocking Arnold by any means. I just like when I hear people talk about why Arnold supposedly should be better than Kool-Aid, it's because the way they talk about it, it's like, all right, bro, you obviously just read a website and you didn't watch film.
No, I think it's one of those. You're getting a cornerback. I think if they're going defense, this might be it. I think they were really sold on Bowers. I think they did not expect the Raiders to take Bowers there. So
I don't think anybody expected the Raiders to take Bowers.
They could also go O-line as well. They could, get someone here. Three O-line, I think, have been off the board here.
I think that's going to be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4 already. You had Alt, Latham, Fashanu, and now Fuanga.
Do the Colts add a wide receiver to bolster that room for Anthony Richardson?
And who would be now? You tell me who you think. You think Xavier Worthy is worth it? Can Anthony Richardson get him the ball accurately?
I think that the Colts think he can.
Now you're looking at 3 mouths to feed. You just extended Pittman, right? So he's got to get his. Josh Downs already has the rapport over there and is your slot guy. So whether it be outside, and I'm not saying he's just a speed guy, he's got hands and stuff, but it's like his main thing is the deep ball. Right? Like, I don't know if you can accurately get him the deep ball. I think he could probably get it better than Joe Milton probably could have.
Then do you go Brian Thomas Jr. then?
I like Brian Thomas Jr. because you put him and Pittman on the outsides together. Josh Downs could get 85 fucking receptions, bro, because he's going to be working in the middle of the field doing whatever the hell he wants.
I don't think so. I think they're not right now. I think they'll go get a wide receiver in the second round. I think a cornerback is a bigger need for them to go. So I think Mitchell, but I think, Arnold's there. You can throw in Kool-Aid too, but I think Kool-Aid falls later in the draft there, and one of those guys will be it.
Kool-Aid's going to the Ravens, and he's just going to be a perennial Pro Bowler until he doesn't want to play football anymore.
He's going to end up being a steal because he's going to slide to back end of the first there, but he's going to be arguably probably the best quarterback here, as far as have his own island. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Statement number 3, class of 25 quarterback, 4-star Antoine Hill is a top 12 quarterback in the class currently. Hill has reopened his recruitment with FedEx infusing $5 million per year to Memphis. Memphis will be a player for the top recruits such as Hill. SC, you're up first.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you get an extra amount of money, I think it made me think about what Saban said, why he said he retired. It's like he had the players over and his wife ended up coming up to him and saying, I have moms coming up to me and the first thing they're asking is how much are you getting my son? You know what I mean? So just because that landscape does, it helps Memphis a lot, and because of that, now you have a little bit of money to play with. Yeah, you'll get some recruits there, and I think Hill can definitely fit into that mold where they're gonna start considering it more so than what they did prior to.
This was a tough one because the money is ripe. But once I started diving into who's already talking to him since he left Colorado, um, Duke is pushing extremely hard for Antoine Hill here. He has a visit with Texas A&M, and when I do my little look here, they don't really have many guys locked in quarterback wise for recruits outside of next season for recruiters. And then he also has talked with and has a visit lined up with Florida State, another school who doesn't have many quarterbacks locked in the future. Outside of Duke, Texas A&M and Florida State could definitely throw him way more money than Memphis can. You got to understand that $5 million isn't just for the football program. That is for all athletics.
Yeah, and I don't think necessarily choose Memphis with who he's talking to, but it does open the door up for them more so to go after some of these guys to say, hey, look, we may have, a good amount of money to throw at you. Some guys that are more under the radar that aren't getting that look, but still top 20, top 15 prospect.
I see what you're saying. I don't think Memphis can have enough pull with the bigger schools right now that are already attacking him the minute he left Colorado.
They're going to give their lot for one guy.
Yeah,
so if they want to win it, you know what I mean? So,
and he's also going to CUSA, where you're looking at going in the SEC. You're looking at going. I know the ACC dismantled, but Florida State could be part of the SEC or the Big Ten by the time he commits. So we don't know.
Yeah.
With the 15th pick in the NFL draft, the Indianapolis Colts select UCLA pass rusher Latu.
Let's go. Hell yeah. I love that. That's my number one DL. So I love the way he moves, man. I love his handwork, how he dips around. He has some good moves. Of course, he's had some injuries in the past. Looked healthy. He proved that, to a lot of his coaches during the combine, even during the Senior Bowl there. I love Latu.
I love Latu. I'm just kind of surprised they took him there with the injury concern, knowing that they had Shaq, right? They had to get rid of him because the injury concern. So hey, if he can stay healthy, he's an instant impact player for them defensively. I love it. They need to get a cornerback though in this next, one of the next 2 rounds. They need a cornerback. They need a lockdown dude, a guy that they can probably put out there on an island and let the rest of this, defense work themselves out there. But we'll have to see.
It's possible you get someone like a Nate Wiggins that drops to them. Nate Wiggins can be argued as a first, but it's possible we see with the way that I guess with the way the offense has been cited, you could see someone like that drop into their lap there.
All right, if someone hasn't watched a single game of UCLA and doesn't know who Latu is, give me your pros and cons with the guy.
Well, cons would be, obviously the health concerns, right? 2 schools, but he got it done. The thing is, that's great about him. And you look at him, if you're just looking at him right away off film, he's kind of an upright pass attacker, right? Like kind of like an Andre Carter. But this guy, he's got good hip move. He can get low, and he's got a good swim move to get around the edge. Motor's consistent. They're just not nonstop. He just constant. I like to say he's always looking for leather, whether it be the quarterback to pass and get to the pass rush, or it's just wrap up that running back and keep him in the backfield or minimal gains. I just like everything he's got. He's got that chip on his shoulder. Like he's not going to let you outwork him because every single snap he's out there trying to prove something to you. Like I said, I think it could be instant impact for them and just bolster that defensive line right away.
Good wingspan too, where he, like I said, I like the way his hands when he gets him up in the chest of his tackles, or just to deflect the passes, wave him up, or even bring the guy down. He has the strength. 23 sacks in the past 2 seasons there. So just someone that he will bring that pressure, and I think that's someone where you're talking about the AFC South. You have C.J. Stroud, Lawrence, Levis. You want someone that can get back there and get after the quarterback too. Latu fits that, and that's someone that will benefit them in the AFC South for sure.
And he's not just the outside edge rusher. Like he can. If necessary, he can kind of work himself inside and put pressure. So I think he's versatile, and I think they got a dog.
Injuries are the biggest thing for him.
Yeah.
Speaking of injuries, we've seen 2 guys taken the top 15 that Coming into the entire process, I think we would have concerns with their injury. Michael Penix, he's had 2 ACLs, 2 AC shoulders that ended his season. He's also an older prospect with other injuries, and then Latu. Are we at a stage where we can be not as negative on these kind of injuries anymore, just because of how current technology and the medicine and treatments are being done nowadays?
ACL, yes. Achilles, no.
I think Aaron Rodgers might be changing the whole script on this Achilles thing real quick. But yeah, ACL, what they've done with the ACL, it's just like if you get injured early with ACL, there's a good chance you might be able to come back at the end of the season, which is insane because you were looking at like if you week 1 you tore your ACL, it was probably a year, and then maybe a couple weeks into the next season before you were like hitting the ground running. Now it's like 8 to 12 weeks and you're already training again. So it's crazy.
Yeah, well, I think so. Especially with guys that it's different for someone like Brooks that just had it right, but these guys had it in the past, but yet they came back and showed they are healthy, they can perform. So it's definitely different in that sense, like your post after it, right? There are going to be some guys that just can't stay right. Maybe it's not their right diet or whatever it may be, but you have these guys like Latu and Penix that came back, proved they were healthy, didn't get re-injured, and they continue to progress. So yeah, I think you definitely can.
Statement number 4, class of 2025 running back Dominic Taylor has been overlooked by the services. By the time the All-Star circuit hits this coming fall, he will be a riser with his skill set on full display. SC, you're up first.
Man, we talked about this in the green room. A riser, baby man, he looks very good. He's like 6 foot 180. He moves, vertical runner, has a good one step to get across and has that speed to go down. But he also plays safety, and he was lined up, at the edge, coming in the box and just making his plays, knows how to track the ball well. So this season, I think it comes down to what he plays more. If he is safety, I think I like him more so as that than it would be a running back. I think he just may find some more opportunity there.
This dude is an athletic freak, like 4.37 40, right? Like he's got a 9'9" broad jump, a 20'3" long jump, like he's a 10.68 100-meter, like everything you want: explosive, speed, twitch, power. He has it all. And he hit it on the head, man. He's been kind of lost because of this. These services have not. I've been saying this for a while now, buddy. Right? The guys that are doing this, they're not doing it. They're not giving everybody their right due diligence here. And we're starting to see he's like the 68th ranked running back. There will be a rise. There can only be a rise for this gentleman. There's no way that he can go down. I want to say he's going to jump up at least 30 spots by the time it comes said and done. And he'll put himself somewhere in between, 30 to 35. This kid's got it. I think he'll probably go in as an athlete, right, when he commits, because they're not going to figure out where he wants to play. But he's got twitch and speed, man. That's really hard to teach a running back. If he already has that, I think he might go on the offensive side of the ball.
Good contact balance too. You watch his tape; he's not going down easy. Like he may not go for the home runs, but he's breaking the first 2 guys that are getting in contact with him.
And the fact that they got SEC and Auburn, they're not sleeping. They're already, calling him and trying to get a visit already with him and bring him in there and let him see the culture. Speaks volumes, because he was only getting like Vanderbilt and all these bottom of the barrel schools, and now we're starting to see some of the bigger programs, open their eyes.
Oh yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest. A lot of times when I'm doing these, I'll have Easter eggs here and there for you guys, and sometimes you guys get it, sometimes you guys don't. The only reason why I found this guy was at one point Memphis was looking at him and kind of offered him, and I kind of wanted to parlay that with the whole FedEx deal. So that's the only reason how I found this guy.
Love it.
So statement number 5, Ohio State freshman wide receiver Mylan Graham will not crack the rotation this year and will end up in the transfer portal in December. Nino, you're up first.
I don't know if he'll end up in the transfer portal. But you got 48 hours left of this one? If Ballard stays at Ohio State, Mylan Graham is not sniffing the field this year. Okay. He's waited patiently for his time, and he's not a slouch. All right. You know what I mean? This kid's got game and got juice, but this has been first round pick after first round pick after first round pick in front of him. and Ibuka's there too now, and he's probably going to be a first round pick or top of the second next year. I just can't see it. They're jam packed. Jeremiah Smith is obviously carving a rollout, right? You have Ibuka, you have Tate, you have Ennis. Those are the 4 guys off the rip that you have to feed, and I think they're going to be more of a heavier running game this year. I just don't see Marlon. He's probably going to redshirt. He'll probably get like 4 games worth of usage, but he's probably going to get redshirted this year. I don't know if he'll hit the portal because I don't know if he'll have a better spot to go to. And if he just waits, you have to think Ibuka's gone, right? I have a funny feeling one of the gentlemen between Tate and Ennis may hit the portal next season. So he might just be primed in to just take a role by default. So I don't know if he'll hit the portal, but I just don't think he'll have a role this year.
Well, next year, right now, he hasn't been official, but you have Jamie French possibly as a wide receiver coming in too that could actually push him out even further if that happens.
He's committed?
No, that's what I said. He hasn't quite yet, but
on,
Crystal Ball says, "Oh, I'll
don't
stay."
shit. He's got Crystal Ball to like 4 of the
So-
teams too. He already committed to one and then decommitted.
So I agree though. I don't think he sees a field. It's just a crowded room. If anything, kind of like what I said about my guy earlier, is that he may get that one deep down. He carry on just that one big play or something like that. But yeah, he redshirts this year. Jeremiah Smith is seeing the field day one, where this guy, yeah, he's got to wait.
With the 16th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Texas defensive tackle Byron Murphy.
Nice. Called that earlier. I did my pick.
Him and Bo Mafia are going to be a dangerous combination, man.
Mm-hmm. I bought Brian Murphy earlier. Love that. Great pick for them.
So I didn't have a bonus statement on the show sheet, but I'm adding one right now live. So I don't know if you guys prepared for this, so we'll see how this goes. Michigan State running back room with K'Ron Adams coming in from UMass with Nathan Carter there. How do you see this room shaping out? Typically, I don't like G5 guys moving up to the Power 4, but both these guys came from the G5. What are your thoughts? Nino, you're up first.
All right. So there's something with the whole K'Ron Lynch Adams because he left, right? Committed to a different school, hit the portal, came back. Committed to UMass, then decommitted to UMass. Then came back to UMass and said, I'm going to come here. I think this is a money grab, bro. I honestly think that he was going for the bag. Whatever school is going to give him the more money. And kudos to you, sir. Whatever you need to do. We don't know the circumstances. You could have a family, whatever it may be. I do actually think he has a daughter, too. So maybe it is, necessary to get the bag early. But Nathan Carter came from UConn, right? Went to Michigan State last year and beat out Jalen, is it Berger, right? Jalen Berger?
Yeah, he's in the portal now.
He just hit the portal. Because you know why? Because Nathan Carter is RB1 for Michigan State. He was already catching nice, crisp passes from Aiden Childs in the spring game, and he looked good last year down the stretch. Nathan Carter is going to be the RB1. Adams will be a nice spell piece. They could maybe split 150 attempts, but when it comes to the start of every ball game, Nathan Carter will be your RB1 every single Saturday, barring injury.
And Adams is older too, isn't he? Senior year going in there, so so I think you go Carter there as well. I mean, it's interesting because we still have Martinez in the portal too, right? So I think that changes everything if he possibly goes there.
No, he was in Mississippi State, dude.
Oh yeah, my bad, I'm tripping. You're right. So yeah, I think Carter's the guy here.
Now those are our 5 statements. Now we're going to give you our stock exchange. Nino, who's your stock guy?
Well, it's not even really by default because I think he might have won this room, and that might have been why Mr. Rashada decided to go over to Georgia. Give me the former Michigan State Spartan, Sam Leavitt. Okay, this dude, the former Mr. Oregon Gatorade Player of the Year, Max Preps Oregon High School Player of the Year. The kid just threw for almost 85 touchdowns, in high school. And last year, didn't have the best season. It was kind of, hit or miss. But I think Sammy Leavitt is now going to be the dude in Arizona State. And that is why Rashad hit the portal. Hey, and he just got a weapon, right? Mater, the tight end from Colorado, former Cincinnati guy, came over to him. He is going to be a target. Is Noel still there, right?
Yeah.
The big outside wide receiver. So listen, this guy's got a howitzer. He knows how to throw the ball around. He's got a good football IQ. You don't win. You know what I'm saying? You don't win Gatorade Players of the Year in Oregon or any state for that matter and not be of elite talent. They're giving this kid the opportunity. He's getting the keys to the car. I think he's going to ride it right down that into state. And you're about to see the rise of Sammy Leavitt.
Before I get to my guy, we haven't talked about it, but thoughts on Rashada to Georgia. That confused shit out of me. But what are your thoughts on that?
If you looked over the past couple of years, you've seen the quarterback room of the Georgia. They've kind of done a little bit better in the development process. Look at, when Beck was there, he kind of was like a raw talent, right? And you've seen him in the last 2 seasons kind of develop. I don't know. They have their quarterback room is deeper than the freaking ocean right now. So I really don't know what's going on there. But you might see this. Ryan Montgomery just committed, and now you have Rashada coming in there. It's such an odd move.
We have a trade.
Oh shit!
The Jacksonville Jaguars have traded out of the 17 spot to the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow.
The Minnesota Vikings are now at 17. Do we see a start of another wide receiver run here?
They need another one? JJ and Jordan Addison?
Yeah.
You need another one. And
but then if you do that, why do you jump in front of the Bengals?
Because now you go get Mitchell. He's still there. Now you go get Mitchell to jump ahead.
The Vikings.
Or they could. Dallas Turner's still there too, right? They lost Daniel Hunter. I know Ivan Pace is out there, but could also get someone like a Turner.
Yeah, they could be pulling Houston. Get your offensive guy.
Yeah.
Go get your defensive guy. Now you got something for the next 5 years on short money.
Yeah, losing Hunter. I think this is a move for Daniel Hunter.
Could you see Jared Verse sneak up into this spot here?
Yeah, Verse or Turner, your top two on the board.
Now that Latu's gone,
yeah. I think
the pick is in.
The pick is in. The Minnesota Vikings are selecting Alabama defensive end Dallas Turner.
They needed that with Neil Hunter,
And the funny thing is, you brought up Houston. They didn't do that as smooth as Houston, but they saw what Houston did and shit. Look at them. They got their foundational pieces on both sides of the ball, and now we build around that.
What was the verbiage on that trade?
The Vikings get 17, which is Dallas Turner. The Jaguars get pick number 23, pick 167,
money,
a 2025 third, and a 2025 fourth.
Money. 2 spots, but or what? No, that's like 5 spots, right? Because they're like 21 or 23, something like that.
They're 5 spots. But that's not great pitch. That's not a bad deal. I mean, the price tag wasn't too hefty. I think that was worth it.
To get one of your top edge rushers after losing one of your top edge rushers.
And you can give that 5-year tag on cheap dough. So, that's well worth it.
Would he have been there at 23?
I don't
know.
Well, let me see.
Yeah, let me see his notes, though.
No, because there's a good chance the Rams would have taken him to replace Donald. They need someone to replace Donald. I think First is the guy that would literally be just kind of plug in and play. I'm not saying that he's going to be as good as the GOAT, but the style of play, the physicality to him, just a straight bull rush. First has that.
Looking at the board, it was definitely a move to get ahead of the Rams because next ones are the Bengals and then Rams. You definitely do it to move ahead of the Rams.
Could we see a trade here? Could we see T. Higgins moved right now?
For the Bengals? Nah, it's going to be later because it's going to be something that why would they trade out? Like what? Or just trade Higgins for something else?
Someone's trying to come into the thing and they want to package a big old deal. Like they get someone moves in and they move Higgins to the team that comes in for a later pick, whatever, be a first or a second next year. You know what I'm saying?
If Arizona does it and Arizona gives up 27, hold on, and 35 if they get Higgins too. So their next 2 picks, and then you go get Higgins in that first maybe.
With the Bengals, T. Higgins demanded a trade, and who's the defensive end?
Hendrickson.
And him demanded a trade. Do you think if the Bengals take a receiver or an edge guy, does that kind of foreshadow what they're going to do?
100%. It'll tell us who they have more calls coming in for.
Did they sign any offensive linemen in this free agency?
I think they did. Do I have? Hold on. I believe they did though. no one big talking about like, oh, no one's touching Joe Burrow like I did last year.
Do the Pittsburgh Steelers take a wide receiver?
I think if Brian Thomas is there, why not? I think
Well,
I don't.
But doesn't that kind of mirror George Pickens?
Mm,
Physical
true,
guy, deep ball threat,
true,
contested catch guy.
true.
Here's also my thing. I mean,
Uh,
I think you responded to a tweet last night. SC, you said you think 7 wide receivers go in the first round. Someone said that they were going to do 8. We're at what? 3 have went so far.
Mm-hmm.
3 have went, and we're at pick 18. Is that run going to start? Is that going? Is that?
Where would it start? Like Bengals could start the run, but then I think that goes defense for the Rams. I think Pittsburgh could go either way, right? I said, don't be surprised if Miami takes Xavier Worthy if he's on the board for them because they like speed, but they have so many other holes to fill. Wilkins is gone. Christian Wilkins is gone. They need an edge rusher. Like Chop Robinson could be that guy for them there.
With the 18th pick in the NFL draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Georgia offensive tackle Amarius Mims.
That's why I asked you if they signed somebody. This guy is a freaking wall. Was he 6'7", 340?
Yeah, he's like I looked him up, bro. This dude, you ever seen Attack on Titan? He's like one of those Titans, bro. This dude's a giant.
Yeah,
this dude's a giant.
They're like Joe Burrow's getting protected, and that's it. Like we're not taking this chance no more.
They got Cody Ford on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, so
Bengals.
they needed it. They had to do it. Rams are going to take. Rams are. I say Versa Chop.
Versa Chop. You don't think Newton?
He's interior though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where's my guy? Is it Young? The kid they drafted last year. He's on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
I think Newton is great. I also had mocked him to the Rams because I thought these edge rushers might have went a little earlier and they were going to have to get a guy. But I think if Jared Verse is on the board there, I think they're going to take Verse. And listen, some people keep telling me that Chop Robinson is a project defensive end. I don't know what the heck. Maybe I was missing something, but I think this guy is ready to go. Like, I don't think this guy has to sit or anything. I think you could plug him in week 1, and this guy's going to get downhill and get numbers.
He'll get into the first round because that combine too, and he showcased his speed there. That definitely shows something for how big he is too. So,
but what else did Penn State have in the front 7 besides Chop Robinson? Oh, they have the other guy, Abdul Carter, right?
Andre Isaac is that his name?
I thought it was Abdul. Was it Abdul Carter, the other guy, the guy on the other side of Chop Robinson? I'm pretty sure. I think Abdul Carter's going to be the guy for them now this year.
Oh, now, yeah. I thought you meant coming out too. Isaac's coming out too.
Yeah, no, I was saying who's
yeah. My bad, yeah.
All right, so with the teams coming up, who do you think's the next receiver that goes off the board?
Well, that's what I'm saying. To me, I feel like Pittsburgh could take that shot.
Pittsburgh, Miami. If Worthy's there, I think that there's a chance. You know, everybody's talking about the picture with him. You know, going there. For Pittsburgh too, Miami, Dallas is interesting. I think Dallas can go wide receiver as well. I don't think Green Bay does. Arizona is very interesting too. I know they have Michael Wilson too, but don't be shocked if they double dip at their wide receivers.
I've heard that they want to go 2 wide receivers here if their guy is on the board.
And so that's something that's possibly 4 right there.
Dallas cannot take a wide receiver in the first round.
They have way too many needs.
There's no way.
It's Jerry Jones. It wouldn't shock me if they do. If Adonai Mitchell or Worthy is there, it would not shock me.
I think they would take Jonathan Brooks before they would take a wide receiver, and I think Jonathan Brooks in the first round is a reach. Although I'm hearing that if he hadn't got an ACL injury, he was a first round pick. I don't see it. I just don't see that.
Do you don't see it as a prospect or see him being a first rounder?
I just don't see him being a first round. Like in the last 10 years, it's been Saquon, right? Bijan and Gibbs. I don't have him in that realm of running backs. Yeah. Like, okay, you couldn't even beat out Roschon Johnson as the number 2 when Bijan was there. and Roschon only got like 600 yards. Like, you couldn't even beat Jadon Blue when you guys came in together. Now you took advantage of it, and yes, now you with RB1, but like it's 1 year of production. That's going to make you a first-round pick 1 season.
There's more of a chance that they get a wide receiver in the first than Jonathan Brooks. If they trap Jonathan Brooks in the first round, the city of Dallas will riot. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna.
I don't think they want Jonathan Brooks.
If they get a running back in the first round, you can argue any running back. If they get a running back in the first round, city of Dallas riots. But no, they don't. I think the wide receiver. I mean, it's possible that the wide receiver run is coming at the end. This is where you had Jacksonville there too. People have been saying Jacksonville goes Brian Thomas. I don't know why. You got wide receivers there and other holes you can fill too, but very possible.
Jacksonville's taking a DB.
Yeah,
I think so. Anyway, in my eyes.
Which one?
Well, if Mitchell's on the clock on the board there, they're taking Mitchell. If Mitchell's gone, I think they take Terry and Arnold because they want to be able to play Arnold in a nickel. You know what I'm saying? Like you can kind of move him more around, which in Jacksonville's secondary scheme, works well because you have Jenkins on one side. You can put him on an island. Arnold can either play on the outside, can play in the slot, right? He could come down, be a threat in the run-stopping game. So I think Arnold would fit more to Jacksonville.
Did the Steelers go and get Mitchell?
With Joey Porter Jr.
Joey Porter.
Last year, I just
with
see
Joey.
This is my thing. When you do moves like that, those are luxury moves. You don't need to have another island DB, right?
Yeah.
They need to keep their freaking quarterbacks upright and safe. They need to put their quarterbacks with the most weapons to be able to get the ball out of their hands as quickly as possible and go downfield. Lineman, right? Linebacker, wide receiver. That's what I see because they've got 3 years straight. They've got it linebackers. 3 years straight. They're back in the free agency pool trying to get a linebacker.
I can see them because they do need help on the O line. So you still have this is for Steelers. You still have Guyton, Morgan, and then even Fontanu if you want to. Also, JPJ is still there too.
JPJ is a true center, so it would be somebody that you know what I'm saying. So
that's you. So
here's a wild thought. We've seen this quarterback run. What if there's a team that trades up to number 32, number 31, and they take Spencer Rattler in the first round? Get that 5th-year option.
Who would it be, though?
Hold on,
the Raiders? It would be the only team that would need a quarterback that would trade back up. Everybody else has got this. They'd be dumb to do something like that. Go get Bowers and do a trade for, like I said, I think Rattler could be had at the bottom of the second without having a trade.
Do the Giants
trade up to the first round to get that?
I mean, you're talking about 5th-year option. I mean,
they just paid. Is it worth it that 5th-year option to get that extra year on that guy?
Especially you mentioned earlier, they paid Daniel Jones, which is a stupid amount, and they're biting that. But you mentioned earlier he's a neck injury away. You trade up, get that 5th-year guy. He's the next best quarterback, right? Spencer Rattler. Yeah. You trade up, get that 5th year. They can easily get him in the second, I think, because I don't see the Raiders getting him in the second with pick 44, maybe in the third. But the Giants can definitely go get Rattler at 47, 3 picks after the Raiders. But I mean, I possibly.
Yo, if the Giants get Rattler at 47, bro, my Malik Nabis boy goes stock up right away. Hey, if there's a wide receiver run in these next 3 picks, Carolina is calling people to go get Xavier Legette. They want Legette. They've said it to him. If he's there in the second round, they would take him. Okay? They've told him it to his face. My thing is, if a run happens, do they get nervous and are willing to package something to go get him to make sure they get their guy? And don't rule out my Patriots coming in with that 34, packaging 34 and something to get into the last end of the first round to maybe either get that offensive lineman or that wide receiver to pair with Drake May.
Speaking of the Patriots, we kind of talked about it off air, but what's your thoughts with your Patriots of what they did with you got Drake May?
I'm not that guy that's going to eat his takes and everything that he said prior to. I said that Drake May, I believe, is a project quarterback. I have my concerns about Drake May. But I told you, Andy, in the green room, go prove me wrong. I'm not wishing any ill will on this kid. I want him to succeed. I want him to be the guy. There's a lot of underlying things that go. Like, you got a first-time defensive head coach. He's your first time. You have a journeyman offensive coordinator, Alex Van Pelt, that kind of was the leftovers of everything else that was there and Cleveland didn't really want. We got him. Can it work? Maybe it can work, but they need to go and put the things around him, or we're going to go back to having a Mac Jones style thing where you get a guy in the first round and you don't put talent around him, and then you're just hoping that his raw ability boosts everybody up. Tom Brady's not walking through that door anytime soon.
With two things. With the Panthers, I think Leggett could be there at 33. They could get scared into that wide receiver.
If a run happens, that's what I'm saying. If a run happens here, they might get nervous.
Possibly. And then with the coach, the statement was, he was like, we asked Leggett, if we draft you at 33 at the top of the second, what does that look like? And then he came out and said, I said that's 50 other players. That's just part of our interview process as well. So should have, if he worded it like that, it makes you think, oh, you're going to take me if I'm there. You shouldn't be worrying that that's these young guys, right? Like, if we're there, we're taking you. What does that, you know what I mean? Like, you're giving some false hopes.
New England told AJ Brown that too. If you're there in the first round, we'll take you. And then they took N'Keal Harry.
Yeah.
With the 19th pick in the NFL draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Florida State defensive end Jared Verse.
Give me my money. Give me my money.
Nice. Good pick.
My boy Shay tweeted that on Twitter. Everybody go hype him up. This is a guy he liked. He's a Rams fan. Rams got Jared Verse. I love it. All right, boys. We're going on an hour and 20 here.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a shorter show.
Yeah, we got to reel this one in, fellas.
All right, SC, you're up. Who's your stock guy?
Stock guy is going to be Julian Fleming, right? You had out of Penn State wide receiver, Kendra Lambert Smith, transferred out. What did he go to Auburn? I think he connected there. Fleming has sat behind and had his turn. Maybe now he gets his turn. So my eyes are on him to possibly come out here and finally show that he has talent. We'll see. Nino froze for a sec.
No, I was saying froze. I got nothing to say. Yeah, I hope the kid does well. I've been pounding the table for 2 years on Drew Allen, but everything that I saw in that spring game is like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I can't tell. Yeah. 200 yards passing and a touchdown, but less than 53% completion rate in a spring game. It's your own teammates. Gives me worry and concern here. So yeah. And the other problem is, stock up because, Lambert Smith's gone, but now you're drawing a double, homie. Now you're drawing DB1 and a single high safety on the help. So let's see if the reason why Ohio State brought you in is if you're that good.
Yeah. This is his chance. Like you talked about Marlon Graham earlier. He didn't see the field, right? He did see it, but like he was buried on the depth chart, right? So now it's like, all right, bro, there's no more burying. If anyone's burying, it's yourself now. So go out there and prove it. Let's see it. Maybe he comes out here and showcases a little bit of something different for Aller. Hopefully Aller can rise that stock, but we'll see.
Great episode, guys. SC, where can people find your work, and give me one guy that you think is going to go in this first round with these last 10 or 12 picks that people should think about?
So yeah, at X on the PPR. So find a lot of my work on the Fantasy Football Universe. We got a lot of things going on there. We'll be doing live shows tomorrow as well. Then you can also find me, every Thursday with y'all feature Phenoms, tracking football's rising star, and on CFP Nation, going to the spring game for Oregon, so that's gonna be exciting, and I'll get some more info on that. I posted a tweet earlier, talking about what I'm looking for. So go check that out, and I'll have answers to that when I see the game. Guy that goes in the first round. You want like a spicy take or like
whatever you want?
I think Troy Franklin's going. I think you could see him to Buffalo. You might also see him to somewhere like your Arizona, but I think he's going back into the first there. And man, the way it's looking, hot take. One of these cornerbacks in Cooper DeJean, Mitchell, Arnold, and Kool-Aid. One of them's dropping now and going into the second round.
Nino, where can people find your work, and give me some sleepers and all that good stuff coming up, you think?
League winners, CFB Nation, Couch Scouts, Debbie Degens, at _ Nino Brown _ I got one thing. I'm going to say it right now because it's a goddamn lock, and if you don't believe me, I'll see you in about 20 minutes when the pick's made. Philadelphia Eagles are taking Jackson Powers-Johnson. Jason Kelsey's replacement. Lock him up, 5-year deal. You lock him up for another 5 years, and you lock him up for another 5 years after that. There's your guy to replace Kelsey for the next 10 to 15 years.
Little breaking news. I said that on episode 1 of the O on CFB Nation. So there you go.
Boom. Boom.
And we'll be back next week. But before we go, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, comment, subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, give us a rate and review. And we'll see you next Thursday on Future Phenoms.